I've personally been reselling profitable products on Amazon FBA for over 3 years now, with a year of that being wholesale. And throughout that time, the way that I find products and find good deals has constantly been changing, and I've always had to keep changing my strategy. Some have worked, some haven't. However, I personally believe I have found the best way for me to find different wholesale products that I can sell on Amazon FBA, a brand new strategy and an approach that I haven't personally taken in the past, and I want to share that with you guys today. Now, of course, before we get started, just a quick introduction to myself. My name is Christos Fellas, and like I said, I've been selling on Amazon for over 3 years now. I make YouTube videos about making money online, so if that does interest you, then I really appreciate you hitting the like button down below and consider subscribing if you haven't already. But today, like I said, we are talking about Amazon wholesale, and I'm going to be sharing with you my 2021 Amazon wholesale sourcing strategy. Okay, so let's jump straight into it. And basically, I want to start off by saying my sourcing strategy for Amazon wholesale is actually a lot different to the strategy that I use when I'm sourcing retail and online arbitrage products. And basically, there are 3 main data points that I'm really focusing on when it comes to my sourcing strategy. Number 1 is going to be the amount of times the product is going to be selling during that month. Number 2 is the competition for the amount of sales per month on that product. So how many other FBA sellers are actually trying to sell the product that I'm trying to source. And then finally, number 3, of course, we cannot forget about the profit that you're actually going to be making per each sale. All right, so let's start off with monthly sales, which to me is by far the most important data point I need to be looking at when it comes to selling wholesale products. And the simple reason why this is the most important for me is because wholesale for me now is personally becoming more of a volume-based game. Now, I do have a couple of liquidation suppliers where I do get the odd ends of some out-of-line stock and stuff like that, which I do sell for higher profits. But wholesale for me is really starting to become that volume-based game where I'm not concerned about the higher profits. I just want to be turning more items over every single month. Another reason as well is if we are looking at a product that is selling 1,000 per month over a product that is selling 10 per month, that actually gives me a lot more buying power and a lot more I can bring to the table when it comes to negotiating a price with the wholesaler. Now, let's just use a quick example. Now, let's say we've got 2 products. One product that I can only sell 10 a month of, and another product that I can sell 1,000 a month of. Which product do you think I can go to a wholesaler with, tell them that I'm going to buy a lot more products of? Which one do you think I'm going to have more bargaining power to negotiate on price with? It's of course going to be the one that I can ship 1,000 more units out, because once again, just like me, the wholesalers that I'm buying off are very much into that volume-based game. But yeah, when it comes to my strategy for wholesale, volume is up there, number 1 in terms of importance on what I am looking at. Just comparing it to my retail arbitrage strategy. Now, with retail arbitrage, I would be happy on taking a product that sells, let's just say, only 5 a month, as long as the profit is there and I know that I can sit on that product and actually make it worth my while. Whereas wholesale, I'm actually looking at 30 to 40 products a month plus sales on Amazon, and typically that is very much the bottom line. I really want to be going into the hundreds of units every single month, and the profit I know isn't going to be as much. Moving on to the competition, which is the second thing that I am looking at. And I look at competition with wholesale sourcing a lot different to the way that I look at it with retail arbitrage sourcing. Now, when just doing retail and online arbitrage, all I am doing really is looking at how many FBA sellers are on that listing. And with wholesale, I am doing the same, but there is a really important metric that I am focusing on instead of just the sellers. What I am actually doing is looking at each seller and, more importantly, how much stock they have of each unit. Now, this is extremely important when it comes to wholesale sourcing, in my opinion, simply because let's say you are coming up and you are buying a wholesale product, and let's say one seller has just 20 in stock. Now, that would be typically fine. However, If you run into a seller that has 800 of that product in stock, that kind of indicates to me that they are a big buyer, they are a high volume based business, which really means that they are probably getting that product, they've negotiated that product like I was talking earlier on, for a lower price, which means they can bring their margins down, typically lower than me, maybe even pricing me out of the market on that product. And of course, one thing you are never going to be able to do is see how much stock that competitor has outside of Amazon, because of course we are only looking at the data inside the Amazon marketplace. But I do believe still looking at the Amazon stock that they have still gives you a really good indication on what kind of buyer they are. And just before I move on to the next point, the way that I find out how many units a competitor has in stock is by using a sourcing analysis tool called BuyBot Pro. And BuyBot Pro does a lot more than just this, but it does have a feature that tells you how much stock your competitors has, and I'm going to show you a quick demo of that right now. Alright guys, so as you can see here, we've got an example product up on the screen. This isn't a product lead or anything, this is just simply what has come up first when I've loaded up the Amazon website. And then on the right hand side you will be able to see BuyBot Pro. It is a Chrome extension which will come up on every single Amazon product detail page on the Amazon website. Also, what you can see here is plenty of other information that BuyBot Pro does provide for you, but we're not going to go into that today. What we are going to do is scroll down and go to the section which is called the competition analysis. And what this box here basically resembles is all the different sellers on this product. It says the total stock of all the sellers there, which is quite useful information. It tells you how many prime sellers, how many merchant fulfilled sellers, and most importantly, how much each seller has in stock, like you can see here. And this is an extremely key tool for me when I'm doing my wholesale sourcing. So that is just a quick demo of how competition analysis works with BuyBot Pro. Back to the video. Now moving on to the final main point that I am looking at when it comes to sourcing wholesale products, that is of course profit. We do need to still be making profit for that product, but with wholesale it is a little bit different. Now of course you will already notice that working with different wholesalers is a business to business relationship, which means a really important thing, and that is you can negotiate on prices. Now with doing retail arbitrage, online arbitrage, you cannot walk into Tesco's and say, can you knock £1 off this toy? It's very rare that someone's going to do that unless maybe it's a damaged box, which you wouldn't be selling on Amazon anyway. But with wholesalers, depending on the relationship that you've built with them, the units of products that you are ordering from them, there is a chance that you can actually negotiate on the price. So basically, when it comes to my strategy for profit on wholesale products, it's much more relaxed than the typical retail and online arbitrage strategies that I have. It is going to be very much based, like I said, on the volume that I can sell that product at. So for example, let's say I can sell once again 100 units of that product. Of course, I'm going to be approaching the wholesaler and trying to get the cheapest price that I possibly can. That would be stupid not to do, but I'm also not too much worried about my margin. Now, just using the 100 units as an example, again, this isn't a typical figure or anything like that, but let's say I can get 100 units and I'm making only £1 per unit. Over 12 months, that's £1,200 in net profit that you are going to be making from that product. And when you think about it, guys, what am I really having to do to make that £1,200 over a year? You're going to be ordering that product. It's either going to be coming into your unit or your house, or maybe you're using a prep center, and it's just going to be going straight back into Amazon, and that is all the work done. So for me, if I can get more of a product, I am happy on taking less profit. So yeah, my profit strategy is as simple as, if I can get more units of a certain product and I know I can sell those units, I'm happy to take a little bit of a hit on the profit. Whereas if I can still sell that product and I'm not making as many sales every single month, I will still look to buy that product and still look to negotiate as much as I possibly can, but I'm also going to be a lot stricter with my margins and stuff like that. So that's basically my sourcing strategy. Just to summarize it, number one, I'm looking for products with high volume, Number 2, I'm looking for products with low competition, and even more importantly, competition with low amounts of stock. And then number 3, of course, with the profit, if I can get more of a unit, I'm happy to take a hit on the profit. Whereas if I can get less of a unit, then I'm going to be looking more at a bigger margin if possible. So that's my wholesale sourcing strategy for 2021. What I am actually going to do is give you an update, maybe 6 months down the line, just to let you guys know how it goes, because as you know, in Amazon, these things are always changing. I've probably changed 6 or 7 times in terms of my sourcing strategy in the 3 years I've been selling. So I will be giving you an update in about 6 months time. So make sure you are subscribed so you can catch that video down the line. Apart from that, like the video if you enjoyed it, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Take care.